whatever.
I don't think so. We'd have gotten about 5 or 6 lives by now, so...
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oof. Fucking trolleys. The worst enemy in the game. Speaking of which, we're almost done.
Yeah, last level. Well, apart from the boss.
Yeah. This is basically a boss rush. I gotta say though, again, the remake has managed to perfect this level. The music is top notch. I mean, there are things I don't really like about the remake, I'll always say that, but as far as I'm concerned, that remake for Streets of Rage is a fucking 10 out of 10. Like, overall, it's a very well done game.
That's good.
Only problem is that Sega gave a cease and desist to the developers, so we can no longer develop it. Not publicly,
Why is that?
at least. I don't know, I guess we were just worried that they might have their copyright contested. Get the apple.
So it's a copyright infringement?
Sort of?
Hmm.
If it wasn't really, they were at the very least worried that their copyright on Streets of Rage will be contested, and they could lose it if they don't do anything about it.
You can't just lose a copyright.
If you don't defend your copyright, you can lose it.
You know what makes no sense actually?
What?
Well, considering that the police managed to somehow defy all laws of gravity and physics, why can't they just go inside this building as well?
Yeah, that is a good question, considering they were inside a building before. This is just a very large apartment.
And they were on a ship.
Well, the ship is kind of understandable. It could be like a freight, you know? Like those freights where they can also take cars and trucks and shit. But the building in level 6, that's just like a factory or something. It's not that big. And it still fits a car just fine. Why can't it fit inside the apartment then? Oh, today actually I saw this image of a low poly poster of Streets of Rage 1. It looked kinda nice actually, despite being low poly. I thought it was kinda funny looking, cause everyone looked like they were wearing cardboard box armor.
Well, as long as it's effective.
It looked nice. You could easily recognize the characters. And that's a good thing.
Ow, he stings.
No.
Oh yeah, no jump attacks.
Wow, he didn't actually react to that.
Well, I also didn't really attack.
I guess he didn't think you were a threat at that point. I don't know what they did to these guys in the remake though, because in the remake these guys are a total joke. You can kill them without ever taking a hit.
Well, not in here.
You did a jumping attack.
Bullshit, yeah. Huh.
If you pay close attention actually, you can see that it's getting brighter outside as we move along. You should pick up that ham. Like when we first got here it was still night, but now it's getting bright. It's early morning. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, I don't really think it's ham, I think it's more like mutton.
Like a mutton chop? It could be. But it's not uncommon for games like these to mistake food items. Like I think some sort of a chicken, like a roast chicken in Castlevania games is often referred to as pork chop. Despite it looking exactly like a fucking roast chicken.
Ow. Ah, come on. Well, there goes a continue.
Yeah, 1 of 3. And you start back with 7 lives, so we're good. Shit! Beaten by women, how weak they must be. So all things considered, I probably wouldn't want to take a fight with this chick.
Yeah, no.
I mean, she can fling people across the fucking house. She doesn't look strong, but this is the kind of bullshit secret strength that you don't want to meet up with. You should pick up that ham.
That's like the same thing. That's why I wouldn't pick a fight with an Asian guy. I mean, he may or may not know Kung Fu, but why risk it?
You fucking stereotypical bastard. Actually, now that I think about it, those ham pieces, they kind of look like popsicles. With a caramel ice cream on a stick. If you get to see it again, take a look at it. It looks like caramel ice cream. Maybe that's what it was, and then somebody was like, "Oh, it's a popsicle."
Oh boy.
No, it's a ham. Sure. If you can't see him behind the screen, you need to back away so that he doesn't.
Yeah,
fuck
I
you up.
noticed. Oh, come on. Couldn't even move.
Now it's my turn to use a continue.
Ah.
Grab the apple.
Hey, Apple. Aw.
You got ruined for that shitty reference.
Come on, what the hell? These guys are so unfair.
I know, that fucking hitbox is huge. Look, it fucking hit me there when you punched him. Come on. That's insane. One of them is dead.
They're just so fast, and you can't really avoid them. Like that!
Well, you jumped, so you weren't really moving. Here you go. Here we go.
Finally.
Now we get some ham for this. But yeah, don't eat it right away. I want to see if you can see that it's an ice cream. Oh, it's not here. Bitch. It should be here. Watch out for the trolley! Fucking trolley, man.
Ow.
Look at that. It's an ice cream.
In a weird fantasy way, perhaps, yes?
It really looks like a caramel popsicle.
Well, eat your popsicle.
Ugh! Fucking trolley. Maybe haven't desynced at all. I knew that setting up the bandwidth higher would be helpful.
Perhaps you should do that the first time around, too.
I should have. Whatever.
Fucking clown. Oh, come on, thought he died.
Prolific fucking clown.
Oh god, we'll meet the girls again.
Yep, and no police this time. Second hardest boss in the game. Oh yeah, for the viewers at home, who do you think is the top 3 hardest boss fights? Let us know in the comments. My top 3 is Mr.X, these 2 chicks, and the fat guys. In that order.
I would have to admit with that, only my top 1 boss would be you, Hwaldar. I hate that they just fling around everywhere.
We need to take our targets.
I'll take the right one here.
Alright, I'll take this one. Because if you focus on them, they can't help each other.
Well, I'm dead.
Don't forget the up and C thing. It'll save your life. I like how their voices are just slightly different voices of Blaze.
Hey!
In the remake, you can do a very silly trick because you have running attacks you can use. You can just get them stuck on the door and continuously beat the shit out of them as they get up. They can't even move.
That would help.
It would.
Fucking hell.
But unfortunately, we don't have that.
I kinda suck now. I can't hit them. They just fly everywhere.
Jesus, I haven't even killed the first one here.
Come on!
They're really hard to kill.
Stop fucking jumping around everywhere! Finally!
Yeah, they're really hard to kill. Okay, let's say no to this prick this time.
I wonder what happens if you both take yes.
You have to backtrack to level 6 and then go back through everything that we went to. Like we would have to play through the level 6, the elevator, and this again. I hate that shit.
And once you reach him, do you still have the option to just join him again, or?
I think so? I don't remember. I think he either gives you the option again, or he just says you really want to die. I'll be happy to oblige, and just fights you. Now thankfully, there is never a case where you have two Mr.X's. But in the remake, you can play as Mr.X.
Nice.
He's just as broken as here, but not as broken. Like, he doesn't move around as quickly.
Yeah, because that is kinda... just what?
He does have a special attack where he shoots the gun.
Holy crap!
Apparently the best strategy for beating him is to let him charge at you and just punch him when he does that. But I don't know, it doesn't seem to work as well as we think it does.
Especially because there are other assholes just...
That's the one thing I never liked about Streets of Rage games. Them sending extra mooks to fight you while you're dealing with the boss. I always thought that the bosses were enough. Of course, in multiplayer this isn't too big of a deal, because while one guy is beating up the mooks, the other one can fight the boss.
Oh, I see. You also had to use a continue.
Yeah, at some point I had to use a continue. Whew, we did it. And we beat the game in about an hour.
Has it been an hour?
Yeah, it's been only an hour. This is a pretty short game, all things considered. Let's see. I'll put in proper initials this time. Where the fuck is T? Here we go.
Well then.
Well, that was the game.
I see.
What did you think of it?
It reminds me a lot of 8-bit.
Well, this is 16-bit.
Ooh, much improvement.
Hey, if you're going to disconnect, you might as well just disconnect properly, not just kill off the game.
How is that disconnect properly?
Well, if you disconnect from netplay properly, you just go to netplay and then exit.
Ah, do you know?
Yeah, because if you're fiddling around in menus, it freezes the game for me as well.
Well,
you know what? It
is, however, a nice game.
There we go. Yeah, it's a really good game. I mean, as old as it is, it's held up really nicely. Music's nice, graphics are pretty good and pretty realistic, all things considered.
Let me see how... Well, yeah, this game, its initial release was August the 2nd of 1991.
Damn, that's pretty old.
Kinda. I mean, that's older than I am, so...
And me.
Yeah.
Well, I really like how the graphics look. They're realistic, but they still look good. A lot of times when you have a realistic looking game, after a few years it looks weird and hokey. But this just looks fine. It's like it was made yesterday.
True.
And I really like how for the music they chose, rather than something moody and atmospheric, we went for upbeat and jazzy kind of music. Because I think it really works better in that case.
I see. Well, I don't know. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, the game has a few problems, but I don't think that's really that big of a deal. I think it works just fine the way it is. I took 7th place, you took 10th. Shit. But yeah, that was Streets of Rage. It was great. If you had to rank the game, how much would you give this? Out of 10.
Out of 10, maybe a 6.5.
Well, I personally would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's a fantastic game even after all these years.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just, you know, not necessarily my style. But it's fun to play every once in a while.
Yeah, and that's fine. For me though, I like these games, and I don't think there's a beat 'em up series that's gotten any better than Streets of Rage. So it's a 10 out of 10 for me, always.
That's nice.
But next time we'll have a look at Streets of Rage 2. We'll see how that holds up, because people always say that that is the best of Streets of Rage. Well, most of them do. Some say it's overrated. But we'll see how that works out next time. I'm Hwaldar Richards from DaGameTrain, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.